Well, I think it's going really well. It's nice meeting in person, seeing everyone we have been working for the past years, and also getting to know what other work packages are doing, how all this work can nurture and create some shared knowledge and future narratives that now we have been working on the experiments, on the social media analysis, and in the future we have to move this towards policy and some implementations. So it's very nice to have these times to just discuss and have workshops on the topic. Surprise one could be a good one because it's nice to listen to the partners and learn what their insights from their work is, and there are quite interesting approaches and the way they have been developing their methodologies, and a lot of things to learn from each other. I think it's a project that the main idea is to understand how we as humans, we're emotional beings, and how this affects the way we express in political discourse, how this affects democracy, and how these emotions can sometimes be played around with, and try to understand that so we are more aware of how our emotions are used or we are using them in the political context, and how this can also help society and policymakers address better the challenges we face now with the explosion of social media, very fast content that really targets this type of very instinctive and sudden reactions, very based on emotions. Well, at Prayed By It, we are leading work package 3 that is focused on the social media analysis. So this work package is now coming to an end. After starting at the beginning of the project, we have gathered many posts from social media, basically from X, as it's one of the most active platforms for political content, and we have trained some specific large language models to emulate and replicate the manual coding from the partners. So we were able to code 1 million posts, which generates a comprehensive cohort data sets from the 6 countries involved, and through 3 years times, encompassing electoral and non-electoral periods. So we are able to compare how different emotions are expressed by different actors. We look at politicians, we look at the general public, at media. We also evaluated how comments have their own behavior. They express more anger, for example, and hate in these spaces than what you would find in normal posts. We also saw how politicians generate way more engagement by the tweets than media or general public. And we also describe how during electoral periods we see a rise on positive, like hopeful, enthusiastic messages as compared to non-electoral periods. Through the catalog of best practices that Renew Europe is developing based on these findings that we have from social media analysis, to learn how we can also be better citizens online and how we can have the tools to control this spread of hate, but also to moderate better during electoral and non-electoral periods. Well, I think now we are starting a very interesting time with Work Packet 6 and Work Packet 7 starting on the co-creation of narratives, on the development of foresight and policies, because we have been now doing very research, technical and academic job in Work Packets 3, 4 and 5. And now it's the time to bring all these insights from very different perspectives. That is one of the nice things of the project. On our side, we are doing social media analysis, very broad sample of data using LLMs. They were in Work Packets 4, they were using biometrics. Then in Work Packets 5, they were doing experiments and surveys. So the key part is bringing all this together, developing these narratives and the foresight for policies that can take all this knowledge out of, let's say, technical academic environments and to the public and to the policy sphere.